45.
Hey, check it out. This is Eminem, and the streets is watching.
Gangsta Grillz Radio. We know trauma in the homie
Trendsetter.
Wait, it's finally over. The affiliates have taken over the wheel.
Hey yo, shut up. This Ice-T. Right now you at DramaLikeTheDJ.com.
Trendsetter DJ Sense, my man DJ Drama. I'm very pleased and honored to have the OG in the building. Ice-T, what's good?
Oh man, I'm happy to be in Atlanta. It's always fun when I come down here. You know, nothing but love.
Yeah. So, you know, it's funny. Me and my man, we were just talking. That movie you were in when you were in the woods.
That was Surviving the Game.
Surviving the Game.
Yeah, with Rutger Hauer and Charles Dutton. Yeah.
Okay. Reason why I asked that is because, like, when you were back in the day, when you were just being a young artist, like, what popped in your head and made you realize that you wanted to make that transition from just rapping and just taking it to that next level?
The thing of it was, I wasn't really a rapper to begin with. You know, I was a hustler.
Yeah.
And hip hop kind of came as a way for us to do something on the weekends, go out to the clubs and have fun with it. Until my boys started going to prison, I never really took rap seriously. I didn't think, no one had ever bought a car rapping when I started rapping. So I was out, I needed to get paid.
Yeah.
But then once I got into the rap game and my boys were telling me from joint, like, yo, I stay in this, man. Don't come here with us, you dig? I just started taking advantage of every opportunity that came. So when somebody said, hey, would you like to be in New Jack City? I'm like, who doesn't want to act?
Yeah.
You know, so it wasn't a big jump. The only jump was worrying whether hip hop would hold on to me if I made the transition. And back then, if you acted and you were rapping, a lot of rap cats was, no, you ain't keeping it real. I'm like, listen, man, I mean, I'm gonna take advantage of opportunities as they lend themselves to me.
Sure.
But I was nervous. But after New Jack City, in that response, I wasn't worried at that point.
Speaking of New Jack City, I mean, I know you get this question a million times. Playing the cop.
Yeah.
And you know, you had the infamous song Cop Killer.
Yeah.
So talk about that.
I mean, I was more concerned doing New Jack City back when I had the original Gangsta album out. This is pre-Cop Killer because, yeah, right, on one hand you got original Gangster, on the other hand you want me to play a cop.
Yeah.
Of course, yeah, it went through, but then I did it because I'm like, you know what, I ain't no cop. I'm far from a cop. I'm really about as far from a cop as you could possibly get if you know my rap sheet. So I was like, you know what? This is an opportunity. I'm not going to turn it down. And I ended up doing a movie, and people didn't hold it. They was like, oh, okay, you was dope. You was dope. And, you know, since then, Cube played a cop, Tupac played a cop.
Yeah.
I mean, I think when they cast a street cat in the film business, to have you as a street cat is not acting.
Yeah.
But if you cast me as a cop, you get a cop with an interesting dynamic.
Exactly.
You know, so it's kind of like, to me, people that say, oh, you a cop for this. I'm like, you's a sucker. And if you stupid enough to believe I'm a cop, you ain't never gonna have no money. You know, it's kind of like acting is acting.
Yeah.
And you gotta, the trick to acting is you have to suspend your real personality and take on another personality.
True.
So the fact I've been able to play a cop, that means I'm a good actor.
True.
You know, but I had a lot of experience with him, so I got a chance to study him up close.
That's what's
From the back seat.
June 15th, The Art of Rap. Talk about Ice-T's vision, what he was trying to get across with that.
I mean, you know, of course, now after I've been in film over 20 years, I wanted to direct, and I was like, you know what? Right now, hip hop is here, but I don't really feel it's being held in the high regard it needs to be. Sometimes people look at it silly. They don't give it that mark of excellence, which is an art form.
Yeah.
And I said, you know what? I would like to document hip hop where I came from and take you on a journey where I started in New York and coming back to LA.
True.
And just let people see the passion that went in it. Like I said, the movie's called Something from Nothing. It's like I said, when I started rapping, no one had ever bought a car from rapping. So you're rapping for another reason.
Yeah.
You're rapping because you love what it is. You love hip hop. Now I think that the art form is moving. People look at it as a way to get paid. So a lot of people are just jumping on the bus. They're not really putting in the work for the skills. They're not putting in their time. It's like somebody looking at you saying, oh, I see you on radio. They just wake up, I want to be on radio. Like, yo, it took you a while to get to this point. So I just wanted to show people from the inside out how we feel about it. It's not a declaration about the new school versus the old school. It's just about hip hop as a whole.
Yeah.
And every single person that's seen the movie said, Ice, we needed this.
Yeah.
We really needed this. And, you know, we've been promoting the movie backwards. And the reason I say that is we don't have the money like the Avengers. We can't go out and just promote on television. So we've been letting the public see it, the tastemakers, people like yourself, and letting y'all tell your fans whether they should go see it or not. And we're gonna see what happens June 15th. But so far, I haven't read one bad review. Have you?
No.
Yeah, and that doesn't happen in our hater society.
I read you did an interview on Billboard and you talked about that you wanted to promote the movie like a record.
Yeah.
Like from a grassroots level. Talk about that.
Well, you got to understand that making a record and making a movie is two different things. You know, you make a record, you get $100,000, you can promote, you can put the record out, you can get it going. With a film, first you need about $500,000 at least to make it. Then you need about $6 million to promote it. It's like, and then you have to get it into the theaters. You know, you can make a movie, all these movies go straight to DVD. But to get it in the theaters are harder than radio stations. They're like, we ain't carrying your movie, you know, if we don't like what it's about. So for a documentary, an urban documentary, you know, it's not being pushed to that, but really, this is by a black director. Everybody in the movie's black but Eminem. So for this type of a movie and a documentary to get a theatrical release is unheard of. It doesn't happen. So now we need people to show up on the 15th, support the film, support hip-hop, support everything, because if there's filmmakers out there, you're going to want to make a movie. And if this movie does good, that's gonna give you that opportunity to walk yours in. If it doesn't, people gonna say, well, Ice-T's movie didn't do well, so what makes you think your movie gonna do well? So we gotta learn that each one of us walks on the other one's back. When somebody makes it, it opens the door for the next person to make it.
What I noticed, the collective of artists, producers that you gathered for the movie, they may have come from a conscious sense, underground hip hop, underground like a battle sense, lyrical sense. What were you trying to like get across as far as like, what's your opinion on what started with the essence, the evolution of hip hop, and the people in the game that were the pioneers compared to today? Like, what's
my thing is, the first thing is the only people that are in the movie are my friends.
True.
I just went to my address book and I just said, I'm gonna call the people I know. I didn't really reach outside of my friends because I needed it to be like a conversation. True. So a lot of people say, well, I didn't see my favorite rapper. But trust me, you'll see your favorite rapper's favorite rapper. They're in the movie. I just think right now kids are being sucked into what I call a pop vortex, which is pop radio is sucking kids down a hole. And it's not their fault. The problem is that when I made records, you could go to the record store and you would buy the record. You would seek out music. I mean, I was doing an interview with a girl 20 years old the other day. I said, I made my money in the record. When people went to the record store, she said, what's a record store?
Crazy.
I said, like, no, not like Tower, like Warehouse. Oh, Sam, good, no. She said, like Best Buy?
That's crazy.
I said, well, Best Buy rather sell a refrigerator, really. But, so now the youth doesn't really seek out music. And when it's on the internet, it's so diluted that you don't know who to pick. So they wait on it to come through the radio. But Clear Channel really doesn't want to play anything that's going to move anything. They just want club records and basic, music that just pacifies people. They don't want no KRS-One Boogie Down, no political stuff. They don't want none of that. So now we kind of been sucked into a culture. Now, can you get mad at the rappers? Nah, they want to eat. So they got to make what's going to be played. So it's kind of like we're in a paradox. We're in a situation where the music that needs to be made ain't being made. I mean, come on, we got a black president, you got people losing their homes, you got all these issues going on in the world, but we singing about we drinking and we partying and we throwing money in the air. And how much of that is really true? So it's kind of, I just say, and that's not just hip hop, this is all music
as a whole.
It's delusional at this moment. The world isn't in as good a condition as that music says. All right, so it ain't nobody's fault. This is just how the game just started to twist.
It's just how it is. So I mean, is there, with the new artists that are out today, is there anybody that you see reminds you of an Ice-T or could be an Ice-T?
Come on, man. I love T.I., man. I think he's got an old soul and, he's a key. I mean, I'm just mad at T.I. I just want him to stay on the bricks, man, and stop, making those mistakes. I mean, I love T.I. I love Luda. I think Luda, especially speaking about Atlanta MCs, I love Luda. I think he's one of the most ferocious spitters. You know, when I first heard Young Jeezy, I was like, when he said, you know, God, please don't let me go to jail tonight. I'm like, okay, he been there.
Yeah.
You know, and I like Lupe Fiasco. I think he's a extreme lyricist, kid out of L.A., Kendrick Lamar. So I think we got the resurgence of the spitters, Corey Guns. I think you're seeing the resurgence of the spitters, and that's all a G wants.
Yeah.
I'm not no hater. I just want to keep the game at a level that is high end.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want it to get sloppy.
Yeah.
You know, so is there something wrong with that? You know, if I'm really the OG, my job is to keep the set in check.
Yeah.
If hip hop's my set, I'm supposed to check it. Like, come on, players, step it up.
Yeah.
So that's all I'm saying, and that's the way it's going to continue to last for another 20, 30, 50, 100 years.
Talking about transition from music into the movies, do you feel like that you are going to take it, like, this is a documentary, of course.
Yes, sir.
So are you going to take it to the movie level and do original content?
That's what I want to do. You know, I mean, all the time I've been doing film, I've been studying, you know, being on Law & Order every day. I get a chance to look at these incredible directors. I understand the process. And thank God for all this time. That's the only way I was able to do this film. People look at this film, but they don't understand what it takes to get the cinematography together, to get the helicopter shots, to get all that. It's not that easy. It's a lot of work to do a movie.
Yeah.
So now my next endeavor will definitely be a drama. It won't be a documentary and stuff, but I feel like there's a big open hole for me. You know, I want to be the Black Tarantino. You know, I want to do that cutting edge kind of cult movie stuff.
Yeah.
I think Tyler got his lane. You know, Cube is doing the comedies.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
John Singleton does a lot of very political stuff. But, you know, just for action, raw, edgy drama, I think if you listen to my music, I mean, that's what I've been doing my whole life, audio-wise. So that's where I want to go with it. I mean, I always got to find something new to keep me excited. I mean, honestly, when I'm sitting through the screenings of this movie, I'm shaking.
Yeah.
I'm that nervous because it's so important to me right now, you know, and I just you got to go one step at a time. So the documentary is my first step.
That's definitely an open void that needs to be filled. Like, do you feel like it's your responsibility?
Not my responsibility. Everything I've ever done has just been something I wanted to do.
Okay.
You know, when you a kid on the street and you hustling, you know, why wouldn't you want to make a record? Why wouldn't you want to be in movies and television? And everybody wants to do everything.
Yeah.
I want to race Formula One cars, but I don't think that'll ever happen, you dig? But, you know, as these opportunities open themselves to me, I'm just putting my best foot forward, you dig? I wouldn't mind doing radio one day. So I think there's a lot of things that we'd like to do. I've just been fortunate enough to have the opportunities presented to me.
Okay. Ice-T loves CoCo.
Yeah.
How's that going?
Well, they came at me to do the show. I said, hell no. There's no way on earth I'm doing no reality show. Because most of the reality shows is a bunch of buffoonery. They have people acting stupid and clowning and throwing drinks. I don't get down like that.
Yeah.
So when they came at us, I'm like, nah, because I didn't feel I would give them enough content to make a show. So finally, they was pitching. CoCo was in a position where she was like, Ice, you know, people are destroying me on the blogs, don't know me, just looking at me and hate me. It'll give me a chance to show myself. And I know CoCo's a sweetheart, so I said, okay, let's shoot a pilot. So we shot the pilot. I'm like, yeah, I'm funny. I mean, come on. So we named it Ice Loves CoCo after I Love Lucy.
Okay, I get it.
And, you know, I ain't Cuban and play at the Copa, but I'm a black rapper that works on a job, and she's my crazy wife out doing her thing.
Yeah.
I think it breaks down a lot of stereotypes. You know, we got an interracial marriage right off the bat. And you see that in my world, it's not as much drama as it is fun. I think it's wrong to promote that when you make it successful, that it's a bunch of drama and pain. I'm looking at these housewives shows, and these bras are mad. I'm like, bitch, you in a mansion. Like, really? How could you be mad? I mean, that's disrespectful to people that have it bad and are struggling. Yeah. So we try to show that, yo, our life is relatively good.
Yeah.
It ain't like I'm in a strip club every night. I'm sitting home playing Xbox. We got a dog. Yeah. I got shows sometimes. I got to do shows. Yeah. It's real life.
Yeah.
And it was a tremendous hit, man. We done 2 seasons. People love it. We'll probably do the 3rd season. I don't know if we'll do any more, because I think after this maybe one more season, I think people will understand us.
Yeah.
And then at that point, you'll be looping.
Okay.
You'll be seeing it again. So, you know, it was a good look, and it helped CoCo tremendously.
How long y'all been together?
11 years.
11 years? So how did that transpire?
Well, you know, they say when a woman meets the right man, you know, when a woman finds the right man, it's the right time. When a man hits the right time, he'll find the right woman.
Yeah.
So I've been in a long relationship with my son's moms. We were together like 15 years, but we never married. And then we split up, and I was single for a while.
Now, was that was the girl, that was the lady
Darlene.
That okay. That was on all the album covers.
Yes, sir.
You know that's how I used to buy the album covers when I was like 12 years old.
I've been fortunate to always have a nice looking woman, you know what I'm saying? I mean, that's just shoot, if I'm in the club and everybody's walking around, I'm gonna be trying to hit at the prettiest thing in the room, you know what I'm saying? So I always, you know, when me and Darlene split, you know, we had been together a long time, no hard feelings. We just had to go our separate ways for whatever reason. I was single for 2 years, and I didn't really dig it, you know what I'm saying? It was like, you know, they say the grass is always greener. It's like when you're in a relationship, you look out, it's like, wow, it's hot.
Yeah.
But when you really get out there and you see really what's going on, you're like, man, this I'm much more of a Bonnie and Clyde dude than a guy with a bunch of chicks. Usually, I'm an old school player.
OG shit.
When I see a dude with a bunch of girls, I know usually he's a trick.
Yeah.
Usually he's a trick. You know, they like, oh yeah, he going out tonight. He gonna buy drinks. So let's go, girls. You know, they all click up next to him and they drink all this stuff. And you know, he probably hitting the ugly one. Yeah. You know, so I when I seen CoCo, I was like, damn, you know, this is the caliber of female I'm looking at. Now, I didn't care if she was black, white. It doesn't really matter to me, man. I mean myself, man. You know, like I'm saying, I done played the whole bubble from the pineapple to the big apple, from the snowflakes to the earthquake. Wherever I touch down, that's my town. So my attitude was, you know, if I had met a green bitch and she was understanding what I was saying, then that's who I'd be with right now. So, you know, when I got at her, she was just what I was looking for. I've been really watching the Osbournes, Ozzy. I'm watching Sharon Osbourne. I'm like, would Ozzy even have a house? If it wasn't for Sharon Osbourne, she's holding it down. So CoCo came in and became my assistant, helped me get my life together, and since I've been with her, I tripled my income.
That's how it goes.
Now that, you know, you're gonna keep a woman that helps you make money.
Yeah.
So we've been together now 11 years. It's been beautiful. And you know, I live by the rule that my pimp buddy Kenny Ivey taught me. One down bitch is worth 10 funky hoes. You know? So think about that, players. Always look for that true, man. It'll help you out down the road. After you've sold all your oats and hit every stripper and done everything you need to do, you know, we got to do all that first. Then try to find that true.
One last question. I appreciate your time. Miami, OKC.
Miami, OKC.
You a basketball fan?
A little bit.
Oh, okay.
I just think LeBron must win. You know?
Absolutely.
I think forget the teams, the pressure's on this dude. You know, he's being looked at as one of the greats. He ain't got no ring.
Yeah.
Wade got a ring.
Yeah.
So he's sitting around like, you know, supposed to be the heavyweight champ without a ring.
Yeah.
I think no one is sweating as much as LeBron.
So he could be the biggest loser if he doesn't pull it off.
Or the biggest winner. If the Heat's gonna win, he's gonna make it. He's got to step that game, and he's got it. He needs that ring. You know, he looking over there at Kobe. Kobe got 5 rings. Feeling like Kobe tonight. I got him 5 rings. You know, niggas making records about Kobe.
Yeah.
So he wants that.
Yeah.
So I think he's the man to watch in the playoffs.
True.
You know, I don't really care who wins because I'm not from Miami. Well, I do have a place in Miami.
Yeah.
So I guess I'm from Miami.
Don't matter.
Yeah.
OG, I appreciate your time, man. It was definitely a pleasure to have you.
Hey, can I just let me just plug what I'm here for?
Yeah, of course.
If any of y'all that really still don't know about this film, go to theartofrap.com. You can see the trailer, you can see the cast, you can get the flavor of the movie. Also, Smooth the Hustler has a song. Go to YouTube called The Art of Rap by Smooth the Hustler, 109 MCs. See the music video, or just follow me on Twitter at Final Level, and I will spoon feed you this game, man, day to day, Jack. So, you know, nothing but respect to Gangsta Grillz, man.
Appreciate it. There it is.
Church, tabernacle, preach.